You ever have one of those days, you're just slammed from morning till night, meetings, emails, constant pings? But when you finally log off, you look back and think, what did I actually get done? Well, in this explainer, we're going to build a system, a real system to fight back against that chaos.
Look, our focus is probably the most valuable thing we have, and it's under attack, like 24/7. Every little notification, every, hey, got a sec message, every meeting that could have been an email, they're all tiny cracks in our defenses. But we're not just going to surrender. Nope. We're going to build a fortress, a system designed from the ground up to protect our attention and let us do our best work.
So here's the game plan, our blueprint for this focus fortress. We're going to start with the foundation, understanding what deep work really is. Then we'll design our space, both physical and digital. We'll install an operating system for our brain, figure out our true priorities, master how to execute on them, and finally, we'll lock it all in with daily habits so it actually sticks.
Okay, first up, the deep work revolution. This is the bedrock of our entire fortress. I mean, you can't build something strong if you don't understand why you're building it in the first place, right?
This quote from author Cal Newport just nails it. It perfectly captures the crazy situation we're in. The one skill that creates the most value, that intense, unbroken focus, is getting harder and harder to find, precisely because our modern work culture seems designed to crush it. That's the battle we're here to win.
So, let's get clear on the difference. Deep work, that's when you're in the zone. You're distraction-free, you're pushing your brain, you're creating something new that's actually hard to do. Think coding, strategy, real problem solving. Then there's shallow work. That's all the other stuff. Clearing your inbox, scheduling, busy work. It has to get done, sure, but it doesn't really move the needle. So the big question is, which one of these is eating up your day?
And here's a really cool psychological insight for you. It turns out it's not just about being disciplined, it's about cultivating the feeling of being in control. Research shows that when you have this sense of self-discipline, it actually fires up your motivation. It's like a secret weapon against procrastination. You feel in control, so you act in control.
All right, our foundation is poured. Now it's time to pull out the blueprint. A fortress isn't just an idea, it's a real structure. And for us, that means we have to actually architect our physical and our digital spaces to defend our focus.
Let's start with the physical world. And no, this isn't about buying a fancy desk. It's about removing friction. A clean desk means less visual clutter to distract you. Good light keeps you alert. A solid pair of headphones, well, that's your personal cone of silence. These little things, they add up to have a massive impact on your ability to concentrate. And the exact same logic applies to your computer. Turn off your notifications. No, really, all of them. You need to be in charge of your tools, not the other way around. Clean up your desktop. Block those time-wasting websites during your focus hours, and just create a digital space that feels calm and ready for work, not screaming for your attention.
And if you think this is all just fluff, get this. A study from the University of Minnesota found that ambient noise over just 48 decibels, which is about as loud as a quiet library, can cause a major spike in distraction. Your environment is either helping you or hurting you. There's no in between.
Okay, our fortress environment is prepped. Now we need to install the operating system. This is how we're going to manage all the ideas, tasks, and information flying at us without getting completely overwhelmed. The whole point is to get stuff out of your head and into a system you can actually trust. A really popular way to do this is David Allen's Getting Things Done, or GTD. It's basically 5 simple steps. 1, you capture everything, every single idea to do everything. 2, you clarify what each thing is. 3, you organize it into the right bucket. 4, you reflect on your lists each week. And 5, you engage. You actually do the work, knowing that you're not forgetting anything important.
Now here's where it gets really practical. You stop using one giant, terrifying to-do list. Instead, you organize tasks by context. Got 10 minutes at your desk? Pull up your @computer list. Heading out the door? Check your @errands list. It makes the question, what should I do now, so much easier to answer.
So now we have a beautiful organized system. But an organized system without a strategy is just, well, it's organized chaos. So the next layer is about being ruthless in deciding what's actually important, finding our true north.
A fantastic tool for this is the Eisenhower matrix. It forces you to sort tasks by what's important versus what's urgent. Now here's the trap. Most of us spend our days in that bottom left box, dealing with things that are urgent but not important. These are the interruptions that make us feel busy. But the real magic, the real progress, happens in the top right, important but not urgent. That's the stuff you have to schedule and protect like gold.
And honestly, one of the best ways to stay in that magic quadrant is to create a not-to-do list. It's not about what you're going to accomplish, it's about what you're promising not to do. This is you setting the rules of engagement. This is you actively defending the walls of your fortress.
Okay, we have the foundation, the blueprint, the system, and the strategy. We're now at the very core of the fortress. This is all about execution. How do you actually do the deep work and protect that focus when it's go time?
Cal Newport lays out 4 ways to schedule this stuff. You've got monastic for people who can basically become hermits, bimodal, where you take big chunks of time off, like a week. But for most of us, the rhythmic philosophy is the way to go. You just block off a few hours for deep work every single day, preferably at the same time. It becomes a non-negotiable rhythm. And this is what that rhythmic approach looks like on your calendar. It's called time blocking. You're not trying to be a robot, you're just being intentional. You're giving every single minute of your day a job. You see how the deep work happens in the morning when your brain is fresh? And all that shallow stuff like email gets packed into one small controlled window.
Now, for those days where a big 2-hour work block just feels impossible, there's the Pomodoro technique. It's super simple. You just work, full focus for 25 minutes, then you take a 5-minute break. That's it. That little timer creates a sense of urgency, and it's often just what you need to break through that I don't want to start feeling.
We've made it to the final layer, daily maintenance. Because let's be real, a fortress you don't maintain will just crumble. A productivity system is only as good as the daily habits that make it run, and this is how we make the whole thing stick.
Here are 2 incredibly simple but powerful rules for your day. First, eat that frog. It's an idea from Mark Twain. It just means you figure out your biggest, ugliest, most important task, and you do it first thing in the morning. Get it over with, the rest of your day feels easy after that. Second, the 2-minute rule. If a task comes in that'll take less than 2 minutes, just do it right then and there. It takes more time and energy to track it than to just get it done.
And finally, the shutdown ritual. This might be the single most important habit in this entire system. At the end of your workday, you do a final sweep, you plan tomorrow, and then, and this is the key part, you verbally say something like, "shut down complete." It sounds silly, but it's a powerful signal to your brain that it's okay to stop thinking about work, allowing you to actually rest and recover.
So there you have it, the full blueprint for your focus fortress, from the deep work foundation to the daily shutdown ritual. Now, I know this can seem like a lot to take on all at once, but you don't have to. You just have to lay one brick. So I'll leave you with this question. What's the first brick you are going to lay? Will it be turning off notifications? Trying one 25-minute Pomodoro? Whatever it is, just start there. The strongest fortress always begins with a single stone.